Welcome to Girl Talk with your host, Melissa Ann. Girl Talk is that show which discusses the real issues Black women face being a mom, a dad, a wife, a girlfriend, a sister, a co-worker, a therapist, or whatever hat Black women wear on any particular day. Why? Because Black women are just dope. Without further ado, here is your host, Melissa Ann.
Welcome to Girl Talk with your girl, Melissa Ann. And boy, do we have a show today. We brought in reinforcements. The guys wanted girls, and so here we go tonight. But there's no topic tonight. We're going to just ask questions. You see that as a little theme that we're starting to do. And so without further ado, introducing the crew tonight, starting with...
It's your boy, Kai Carr, K. Diddy, a.k.a. Kai Can Cook.
And next up, who we got?
T-Necol, let's get it.
All right. T-Necol's in the building. We got the reinforcements in the house. And next...
You got Mike B, fresh up out the jacket, and I don't know how to act.
All right. And next...
Just bringing a little bit of Latin flavor here with the Miss Alejandra, but you can call me Andy from Brooklyn. So let's get it right.
All right. We got two Brooklynites on the call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, our viral sensation,
Mr. 8000 Doc.
That dude is so proud. He hasn't been this proud since he graduated from chiropractic school, Melissa. Trust me.
Yeah, for those of you who want to know what Doc is referring to, go to Instagram, my Instagram page, girl_talk, TAWK_podcast, and you will see a clip where Doc has 8,000 views. So he went viral for one of the clips where he answers the question about what, Doc?
I have no idea. I just know I got 8,000 more than Mike.
Oh, come on, man. The conversation was every woman wants to know if their stuff is the best. So that was the clip. And the answer was no.
That's right. Nope. Your cat ain't it. Sorry.
Go watch the clip. So listen, the guys and I have been having a couple of debates in our private text. And one of the debates was, why are men crucified for cheating when women cheat just as much as men?
Because it's a double standard. We are held to a different standard than a man. I don't think it's that. I think just hearing what you asked to me, I started thinking like, women should be treated the same because women do cheat. I'm a woman. I'm not saying I cheat. I'm not saying I haven't, but let's keep it real. Women do. And I hate to say this, but we just cheat a little better where we don't get caught.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Men get caught.
Yeah.
Women don't get caught. I'm not going to say women do not get caught. I'll say maybe 90% of the women, in my opinion, don't get caught because we go about it all totally different ways.
Well, statistically, they cheat more, is all I'm saying.
Well, statistically, but in reality, it's probably neck and neck.
What do we do differently?
You're not as messy. That's all I think it is.
Yes, yeah, you guys are not messy and you're more discreet.
We're not messy. We're going to plan
guys
it.
are messy about it.
We plan it.
Right. Well, not only that, I know, let me not say that because I'm kind of digging a hole. But
dig that hole.
All right, let me dig it. For me, I'm going to tell you up front, right? Look, this what we going to do. This what we ain't going to do. Don't be so pressed to be, I'll call you. It's just how we do it. But men, they can't come out and really tell women that.
You say we can't? Like we don't have the ability to? Or what does we can't mean?
So you guys don't think that, okay, you know what? I got this chick on the side, stuff going good. She calling me, she texts me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then on the back end, you don't realize that let's just say you give her a ride or whatever. Your woman, she gonna know that car inside and out. One thing out of place, and then you gonna stumble. There you go, right there. Y'all already messed up. We already know
I'm
it.
laughing because Doc is intensely watching every word, listening to every word you say, because he is ready to come in and strike.
Do you know why? Do you know why that's wrong? Number one, the reason why guys get caught is guys stop caring. They're not. I'm not going to try to hide it anymore. They're just like bump it.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree. I disagree. Nah.
So not this guy.
Hold on. Number one, the reason women may statistically, is that what you said? Women may statistically cheat more? Is
No.
I mean, women.
No, men statistically
men.
cheat more.
Oh, men. I was going to say, but first of all, women are just built differently in the sense of we are more thoughtful about things. So
I
if
agree
you
with that.
statistically, women are better leaders because of it. So when you can, it's true. Look it up. Women are
Look
better.
it up
leaders.
where? Look it up where?
We are more thoughtful about
Google it.
processes. So when we go about doing something sneaky, we thinking about the full 360 view versus where your mind is thinking about, I just want to hit it. That's literally what it is. So you're not looking at all the little minor things that gonna get your ass caught. And so because you're thinking with the other head first, that's usually what gets you caught. It's not about
Better planners. Like I said, we are better planners. We've already called our girlfriend and said, I was with you.
Nah.
You guys
I ain't
forget
doing
that piece.
I ain't doing all that.
Women do it. You a borderline dude then, Tanika. You
I
straight.
think like a man.
Yeah.
I think like a man. However, my actions are not a man. I'm just saying, I just don't. I'm not calling ahead to say I was with you. I'm not doing all that because I'm already gonna have established the way I'm gonna carry myself anyway. Is if I'm cheating, I'm gonna cheat, right? It's just gonna happen. But I'm definitely gonna make sure that I'm gonna cover all avenues where I think men don't think, oh shit, let me check the car.
I think, but
Can a man talk now?
Yeah.
well, hold up. Y'all wanted the women on here, so now y'all worried about who's getting ready to talk. I told you before.
But if it's gonna be a debate, it has to be a bilateral exchange. It can't just be one way.
Go ahead. I'm a hush. Go ahead. Let me go.
So it sounds like Andy and T-Necol, you guys are really overgeneralizing men. So I take the position like this. You are overgeneralizing. I'm up front out the gate, and Melissa Ann knows this because I talk to her about everything. I'm up front. And because I want you to be able to choose whether or not you want to deal with a man.
Be a part of it.
Right. If you want to deal, let me finish.
I'm cheating.
But what I'm saying is, you guys were saying men lack intelligence. Well, T-Necol said men lack
I
intelligence.
didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
No, that's y'all paraphrasing. And we don't have the ability to be upfront, but we all have the ability to be upfront. When we talk about statistics, the numbers are not that far apart. But if you look at the way society presents it, you would think men cheat 80% and women cheat 20%, when really it's only like a 6-point difference.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's distorted in the sense of if you're cheating, that implies that you are doing something sneaky to hide something from another person. Now, if you bout it and you are upfront with those that you are having relations with and telling them this is not something, this is not something serious, or whatever it is that you have going on, and you are truthful, to me, that is not cheating because
Right.
all parties involved know where they stand. The problem
Exactly.
is when you are omitting
Right.
something from someone else.
But the part I was addressing was the lack of intelligence or ability of a man to be able to do that, and that's what I was challenging. So I wanted to make that part clear.
I don't think that I do think that there is a generational lack of withholding information, that's a standard that has been out there. I think people are much more open to perhaps being honest. But there is still a definite standard. I could tell you, especially being from New York and living in the South, here people are not as open. They will try to have all type of situationships and still try to date you.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I think if we go back to what Doc said, that's another element. Is Doc said, if I'm cheating on you, I've already given up. And I think that's another element of women. We're not cheating just because in most instances. If we're cheating, it's because we're done in that relationship.
I agree.
So it goes back to that as well.
I say just break up. Just break the fuck
I
up
agree.
and move on. Don't
I
even
agree.
cheat. Just be upfront about it.
I was just saying, a majority of the time when men cheat, they're lacking something, whether it is if they're with the woman, with another woman or whatever, maybe they're not getting sex. Maybe they're not being, challenged like they were in the beginning. Things are
Mm-hmm.
different, And it's true when people start leaving and cheating and like you just said, Melissa, women, we're gone. Mentally, we're gone. But I do think that there's some men too that when they do cheat, they get to the point where they're mentally gone too. But for the most part, I do think that if a man is with a woman, then it's something that they're lacking. Not all the time. I don't know what it is in that relationship, whether
Well, we
it's the
got men on the
feeling.
call. Ask them. What are you lacking, Mike, when you start to cheat?
Well, first of all, I actually have never cheated.
Okay.
So, but I do have a personality that if I'm not happy, I may stick around until it gets fixed. If it doesn't get fixed, I have to leave. Now, when I'm dating, I'm doing whatever I want, whatever I feel like doing when I'm dating, I'll do that. But when you have my attention and I make a commitment to you, you get that commitment. But yeah, but when you're in a relationship, for me, if I'm in a relationship and I'm feeling like those essential things like sex or
Attention, time.
affection or all attention, all those things that mean that are important to me, if I feel like they're lacking and they're addressed and nothing comes out of it, then there's no reason for us to be together.
Got it. Kai, you feel the same?
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Feel the same way. If there's a problem in the relationship and that problem moves from the negotiable column to the non-negotiable column, then I'm out. I am out because my compassion and my patience and my continuance only goes so far. A balloon has a maximum capacity before it pops when you fill it with water. And we don't want to get to that point where we pop. We need to be able to know who we are, what we're about, and what we want to say, I know this is going to hurt like shit. I'm going to miss this woman. I'm going to dream about her. I might get hard-ons about her, but it's over, and I have to be responsible to stay and walk in the fact that it's over, period.
Okay.
yeah, but is it over? Is it a lapse in judgment? You know what I mean? Like, is it so easy to say that maybe one mistake leads you to automatically say you're
No, it's not one mistake. It can't. Anybody who allows that, they have. If I allow relationships with one mistake to drive me away, then the problem is me. It's not the relationship or the woman.
Well, I'll add to that. For me, it could be one mistake, but the severity of that mistake will be what it is.
Right.
Because there's
Absolutely.
some things that I'm just not going to tolerate,
Well, what
and I
Kai
will
said, the
leave.
non-negotiables, right?
Right.
Right,
That's what I'm
right.
talking about. Non-negotiables.
Yeah.
And I remember I said the negotiable, something that was negotiable has moved into the non-negotiable. Because as my own steward of my own self, I get to choose my boundaries.
I mean, the negotiables, non-negotiables, I get that. Sometimes, relationships don't work. I mean, there's always something that makes it. It's always like it's not one thing; it's an accumulation of things, and everyone always wants to think, well, they did this or they did that. It's just like it's like a dam. A dam doesn't break from one crack; it breaks from multiple cracks, and that's what happens. And then you get the watershed. I mean, for a lot of times for women it's different. Women will leave a relationship because they're not feeling like it's not so much sex. They don't if they're not getting a romantic intimacy, the interaction, the talking, attention. For women, it's more emotional. Where guys, it's more physical.
Well, I would say I mean, we're human too, so
Right,
I
right.
mean,
Oh yeah, but for the most part,
but I
you're
get
not.
what you're saying.
Well, I
We're
think
more
that's what
physical.
Tanika
Well,
said earlier, though. You think with your other head.
Well,
no, I
no. We
disagree
don't.
with that.
No, I
That's
don't. I don't
so.
feel
That's
like
such
that.
a. That's right. Yeah, there's no brain down there. The brain is up here. This still makes the choice.
Rushes
This
there.
still makes the choice. The
But
blood
when you
rushes
think
there.
about something, that thing jump. So it's the brain down there.
It got a brain.
No.
Y'all things jump too. Tell me your things don't twitch.
Mine
Let me
jumps
tell you
all the
something.
time. I will not.
When you
Okay.
think about
All right then. Come on,
that thing gonna jump.
y'all.
That thing gonna pump. That thing gonna jump. It's gonna move. So I'm
Yeah,
telling you, it's the brain down there.
yours backs that thing up too. So
It
don't front.
sure is. Mine's gonna throb and flutter. You is
Right.
absolutely
It's gonna do exactly. So I already know. We grown on this podcast, folks. We're grown.
There is no denying that it does have a mind of its own as well, right? I mean that, you know. So I'm not saying you are alone.
I think we've exhausted this. But after you've cheated on one woman and you take the next woman out to eat, for example, I think it was another topic that we had last week that I'd like the ladies or 2 weeks ago that I'd like the ladies to jump in on is, you're taking your side piece now because you're cheating. You're taking them out to dinner. Do you anticipate that they should pay for their meal if the man asks you, Tanika and Andy, to go to dinner? Should you pay for half or for the meal overall?
But are we saying
someone on this podcast said that the woman should pay for their own half of the meal?
So wait a minute. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that if you're in a relationship and you go out with someone else, not just across the board, if you're going out just on a date or what have you, it's specifically if I'm involved with someone and I'm going out with someone else?
Just even erase that. If you're going out with a dude, he asks you out, are you expecting that you have to pay for your meal?
I don't expect it, but I would be the one that would either say, I got this, or I'll pay.
On the first date?
Listen to what you just said. You just said, if you didn't say first date, you said if I'm going out with somebody, you got to be specific with me.
Okay. Either way, if he asks you to go eat, do you anticipate paying for the meal?
I don't think that was how the question was, Melissa.
Yes, it was. Don't even try to backslide.
Melissa
Mike.
wants a free meal. Melissa's hungry. She wants a free meal.
No.
Let me just say this, because again, I'm built different from a lot of women. I don't expect a pay either way. If I'm sitting down and we eating and we kicking it, and like men want that second date, and not to say it's around money or whatever, but if I'm feeling the vibe or whatever and we just kicking it or whatever, I don't think I'm going in there saying this joker gonna pay for my food, because I can pay for my own food. So I might say, you know what, I got it. I have no problem saying that to a man because I'm very confident in whatever I bring. I know that it's going to be a point in time.
Where's the mute button? Mute.
Why?
You know what? She can take me out to eat. She can take me out on a date.
And I will with no problem. And guess what? And the next day, either we talk, we don't. I'm not stuck on somebody paying for something. Like I'm just not.
Wonderful time.
You know what?
Andy,
my first date's got to be Ruth Chris. I'm all about it.
All your heart's desires.
He said
I'm
the
just
first date
not.
gotta be
If
Ruth
I'm
Chris.
invited out, no, listen. If I'm invited out or what have you, my mindset
let's pause
is
for a second because
me.
some of y'all is too loud. You're hurting
It's
my
me.
ears.
You know I talk loud. I'll try to lower my voice. But if I'm invited on a date, like I don't expect, first of all, I already know who I'm dealing with to know if they're gonna pay off top or not. I hate to say it, but I do. I'm not saying that I go out with jokers that ain't whatever, but I I don't expect that. Like I got some jokers that's ballers that I know. I ain't even worried about. They don't even want me to do nothing. Cause you have them type of people. Then you got some where you got to come to reality.
If you ask me out on a date in a romantic interest type of way, that the intent is that you are taking me out to see if this is going to go somewhere, then I am going to expect that you are going to pay.
But see,
I may hold on. I will say this. Now, I don't think it's realistic to think that as we continuously date, that the person is going to keep paying for every single meal, every single activity, every single thing that we do together. I mean,
That's what I needed to hear.
we're both working people. We both have responsibilities. I absolutely agree that I would, if I ask you to go somewhere and we're gonna do something, I'm all about, hey, let's go see her. I buy the tickets automatically. I'm not gonna ask for you to give me the money. But
Right.
I could pay for my own shit, yes. But if you ask me to go somewhere, then you should be willing to pay for it.
That's exactly how I feel too.
Without me having, so if I ask you to go somewhere, I'm happy to pay for dinner. But I will tell
Yeah.
you, I'm not sitting there with nobody on a romantic interest and going to have dinner and think about how they cannot pay for this meal.
I hear
We're
you.
not going
All
out.
right.
she said if she's going out with someone or somebody's invited her romantically, right? Again, you got to be specific with me. I got homeboys. I go, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
so
we ain't
you
talking about the
can't.
homeboys.
Yeah, we're talking romantically. It's romantic. We're talking romantically.
But a date to. But okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop.
Because Melissa's just sure she's going to get a meal. She's not going to get a free meal.
You said what?
Because you're not going to get
What'd
a
you
free
say?
meal.
Why?
Because you're gonna pay half.
I'm not paying half, Doc. Andy just spelled it out for you.
Yeah.
Right, and I agree with that. I agree with Andy, 100%.
I mean, if we, like, let's say this group, we all went to dinner. I'm not gonna, and one of us organized. I'm not gonna expect you to pay, right? There's no interest there.
I do because
right?
there's.
Or
I mean, we have a chiropractor on the phone. We have 2 engineers on the phone. They have enough money. They can pay for
Whoa!
I'm
That's
broke as
bad.
crap.
Ooh.
They
You
call
can
me
count
pocket
their
change. I don't know
pockets
what you
all
talking
you
about.
want. You could count their pockets all you want. All I'm saying is that if we go out on a friendly venture, I'm gonna expect that I can pay for my own. I am just saying that if we are going out in a romantic interest type of way, that I will.
And the man invites you, then
Right.
that's
Exactly.
right.
Right.
Exactly.
But of
I
course,
will also reiterate that if I will know if you can afford to pay. And if I'm not gonna go out with somebody who cannot afford to pay it. Like,
you don't always know if they can't afford it. But even I'm
Exactly.
joking
Right.
because Kai, you know that when you and I go out, I either pay or you either pay.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was going to say that you saying that in jest.
Yeah.
You're saying, I know you're saying that in jest because I know the person. But I
Right.
mean, there are some women that think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we out with men, we out with high value men, and I'm just using what's his name's term, and they should pay. You got some women that think that way.
Right.
And to take that a step further, we out with these men that can pay. So I want to go to the nicest places. And then you
Right.
get there and you're like, whoa, that's a high bill.
Yeah.
You want to give me heads up before you invite me to a place like this?
Yeah, definitely heads
that's
up.
just bad manners. That's bad manners.
First
I
of
agree.
all,
That is.
And
Doc.
everything y'all saying still leads to the person expecting for the other person to pay. But moving right
Tanika,
along.
I am not on your ship because you're saying that.
I'm saying that you're going in something expecting something. Like, don't expect.
Yeah, I
like,
do.
yeah.
I expect that
Okay.
joke if
All right.
they ask me to
Tomato,
go to
tomato.
dinner. If they
Tomato,
ask me to go
tomato.
to dinner on the first date or the second date or the 5th date, if you ask me, I'm expecting you to pay.
First date, I can see, but that's not. You said date. You now Andy does say
Can I ask a question?
yes.
Next question. Have any of you women asked a guy on a date?
I
Yes.
have, and with no problem. If I want to go out, I would say, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." When I say that, I'm still like Andy and Melissa said. Do you still expect for them to pay? I don't. When I say let's go out, I'm just saying let's go out. I'm not thinking in my head, oh, I'm gonna pay or he gonna pay. I just want to enjoy the company. Let's go out. Let's
No,
kick
no, no,
something.
no, no. On a romantic, no, like if you meet a nice gentleman, you say, "Hey, I would like to date this guy." Would you ask him out, and what would be your expectation? He pays, or you think you're going to pay? That's what I want to know.
I would ask him out, and that's a great question to kind of circle back. I would ask him out, and being that I asked him out, I probably would expect myself to pay.
How about you, Andy?
I have done it, and we have gone out. However, they didn't allow me to pay. So while I fully expected to do it and fully expected
Mm-hmm.
to take care of the bill, I didn't walk into the situation thinking that that person was going to pay because I invited them.
Right. That's exactly what I'm
And you
talking
have
about.
people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which goes back to what I
Hmm.
said. It's dependent upon what type of person or the person that you're going out with, because that's what I just said when you guys flipped it with men. Now you flip it with women, and it's like, oh no, they wouldn't allow me to pay. Now it's in a better term or a better saying, they wouldn't allow me to pay.
Well, how is that a better? How is that a better stand? I'm just telling you what my reality
No,
was.
no,
I
no, no.
invited the gentleman out, and when I invited the gentleman out, he just didn't allow me to pay for it. So that
Melissa,
way.
have you ever asked the guy out?
No, but I
Really?
will go along the lines with Andy that if I'm in a relationship with someone and I want to the full experience, I'll pay for it. I'll go buy the tickets. I'll go buy the dinner, or I'll do the experience in my home.
Hey, Melissa bought me dinner.
Yeah, I buy people dinner.
Mm-hmm. All right now. No.
Yeah,
I
she
buy
lives in
Kai
Atlanta.
dinner.
Me three.
Thank you, Kai. Tanika,
Hey,
I spend money on my friends.
I did it
Melissa, I
all.
got you.
I did it all. So there's nothing across the board that I wouldn't do for a
I'm
man that
actually a very giving person, but I don't believe that if you ask me out on a date that I'm gonna pay. I just don't. I just don't buy into
No,
that bullshit. And so the answer is going to be
we
absolutely not. I,
Melissa, we're
what?
all on the same page about that. Whoever, if I'm asking anybody on a date, I wouldn't expect her to pay. I would be paying. And back with what Andy was saying, if if a woman that I was interested in as well asked me out on a date and I go, the gesture of her being willing to do it would be, I mean, that would be big enough. I wouldn't have her or allow her to pay either. What my biggest issues are, there are women out there that are seeking out men to take them to places that they wouldn't even take their own self. So that is an actual problem.
oh,
And
that's a
I'm
good.
and I, and that's starting to show itself a little in my this time in my older years, or this time around dating again. I'm running into that a little too frequently, and
Oh,
it's
really?
driving me a little crazy. I don't like that. Yeah,
So
Really?
do you?
yeah,
So
So
give
do
us an
you?
example.
yeah. So I was taking out a young lady I had been dating for a little bit, and it takes time for you to actually hear the true thought process of someone. And one of the conversations that came up was, if she's in a relationship with a man and her car breaks down and the guy she's dating has two cars, it's his obligation to give her one of those cars. And I was like, obligation? And she was like, "Yeah, he's obligated." I would have a huge problem if I'm dating a guy who had two cars and he didn't either give me another car or pay for some means for me to have another car. And I was like, that's no one's obligated to do anything like that for you.
Right.
That is just a kind gesture if one does that.
But
But
maybe that's
to
what she's
to
used to.
Yeah, but
I
that
think
don't
it
mean he
is it is
obligated.
No, I'm
right. That
just
is what
saying
she's
maybe
used to.
that's what she's used to. That's why she said that she feels or she
Yeah.
thinks that that's what that person should do, because maybe that's what she's used to.
I
That's maybe
think
what's
I
happened to her before.
Is she the same age range?
Oh, good question.
No, she was in her mid 30s.
I think, to be honest, I think
Uh huh.
generational, we are different. Like
I don't
Gen
disagree.
X to millennials, that they are just that we are very different and perhaps in the way we maneuver things or have expectations.
So
Yeah.
I'll add to that. I don't disagree with that, but I also will say there are women in their 40s doing the same damn thing.
Sure are.
And back to what was just asked, it has something to do with what they're used to.
Again, I'm just saying, you guys are looking at me like, even with the previous question, but I'm just saying, if a person's used to a certain type of thing, like, and I just want to say this and then I'll be quiet and we can go to the next person. But, I think for everything that we've talked about tonight, it's based upon, you know, just not even just saying me, but what a person is used to. That's just like for me. I don't go seeking men with money. It's all about how I carry myself. That it just so happened that I'm approached with men with money, that I don't have to pay. I don't have to this. I've gotten cars. I've gotten it all. So I think again, it goes back to what a person is kind of used to. Doc is shaking and
What is the
shaking and
clown
shaking.
laughing at?
No, no, I'm
Like he's
laughing
just
because I don't
like
know.
shaking.
I don't know why a guy would give a girl a car. I just don't understand why a guy would give a girl a car. I just don't understand it.
Her milkshake brought the boys to the yard.
No,
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the milkshake. It ain't got nothing to do with the milkshake.
they
No,
better,
it
they
ain't got.
better have a lot of high protein in it because you ain't getting a
But
car out of
but
me.
I
but
mean, are you saying about a man just giving a woman a car in general, or are you talking about in this scenario that he's talking about, like
I'll
a
be
man
honest with
shooting
you.
a
If
woman a
I'm
car?
dating
No.
a woman, if I'm dating a woman, I would never say to myself, I want to give this girl a new car. Just doesn't compute in my head.
Well, I
But
mean,
you also
it
want
doesn't
women to
it
pay
doesn't
for
matter
half
what
their
it is,
meal.
right?
I
It's
was
a
just
gift.
piggybacking off of Mike saying that some people are used to certain things. So at this point, I'm going to kind of just piggyback off of that and say, Mike, I understand some people are used to certain things. That was my thing as far as why maybe she thought that, because that's maybe something that she's encountered in the past. And she's now always thinking, that's just something she's used to. That's it.
I'm used to some things too, but I also understand that expectations on different things. I still wouldn't put that kind of weight on someone else based on what I'm used to. You got to do this for me because I'm used to this. My life is nice, but I don't put that expectation on somebody else to manage this part of my life, especially if you're just someone I'm dating or you know maybe even a new relationship. I don't have that kind of expectation.
yeah, and I want to address expectations. So they might be used to something or have expectations. Just because you're used to something and have expectations about something, that's only one part of reality. There's also no.
Right. No.
And you have to be good
Right.
with both
Right.
sides. You can't, right? You got to be good with the yes and the no. But
Exactly.
but people get so fixated that it always has to be yes because of expectations. They forget that the other side of there's a yin and a yang, right?
You're right.
Well, but I think that hold on. I think is a different context in which if he's dating her, right? And they're not in this like serious type of relationship. They're just dating versus if he's going to be her husband or they're seriously committed to each other. Because I think there is a different level of expectation there, right? To your point. So if Mike and I are in a relationship, right? And we are in a serious
All right
relationship,
now, Andy.
have been dating for years, right? Or
Key
we're going
word.
to get married, and my car breaks down, and I know Mike has two cars at his house. I am going to assume that Mike is going to ensure that I'm okay because he is my person, right? But if I'm only dating Mike and I'm not, we are not there yet, there is no to me there is no obligation to do anything. So I wouldn't think that he would
So
have
you
to give
believe this?
time.
Okay.
You know
So
what?
he
You know
is
what the funny thing is?
obligated then.
You know what the funny thing is? Because I know Mike. I know Mike's two cars. Mike's first car is just like a regular car, and his other car, his dream car, is his Corvette. I know for a fact you're not even gonna sniff that car.
Mike, I'm coming. Mike, I am coming
Mike,
to sniff the
Mike,
car.
Mike has been talking about that Corvette. Mike's been talking about this Corvette for a year. Mike's gonna drive that one car, and that Corvette's gonna be in the garage.
He's gonna be like,
No.
what you need?
All right. All right, we got time for one more question. And this goes back to a podcast that Andy and I did on is it okay or appropriate to ghost someone?
Yes.
Come on, T-Necol. I want to hear this, baby.
Let me give you the prime example. Oh my gosh, let me tell y'all. All right, we're gonna keep it real, right?
All the way.
I had somebody try to talk to me and this week just started. I'll just say over the last week. I ain't even gonna put it out there like 24 hours, but the last week, right? And
24 hours, folks. It happened yesterday.
But anywho, so in the first, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the conversation, I automatically knew I can't talk to this joker.
That's 5 to 10 minutes. We talk. Okay, let me put some context.
No,
around.
but let me tell you, you got to let me finish. We talk about ghosting.
No, but let me put context around it. It can't be somebody that you met like 24 hours before, because that doesn't count.
I'm not.
Let me put
Hey,
context
Diddy said
to
that.
why I said this. Let me put context to why I said this. I was dating someone for several months. Several months. Okay? We were dating for several months. We were going on a good track, talking every day, starting to ease up into where we're gonna meet each other's kids, all that stuff. And I went on vacation. They took me to the airport to go on this vacation. We talked throughout the whole time, FaceTime, talking like we normally do. Everything's all good. The morning I'm coming back, they're supposed to pick me up. They're supposed to pick me up. They asked me my flight details, everything. I said, all right, and I'm with my friend. They knew I was with my friend too. We needed to get home. So anywho, they had said the day before I might be a little bit busy, but I'll leave work on time just to make sure I could get you whatever. I got back from vacation and they didn't pick me up. They didn't. We didn't talk again.
Wow,
that's a serious ghost.
That's messed up.
But
I want to answer that, but I got feedback. I heard.
Go ahead, girl. Everybody's got feedback. Go ahead.
Probably, in my opinion, the good thing about being ghosted or ghosting, you don't have that awkward breakup conversation. So that's probably pretty good.
But let me tell you why he ghosted you. Because I'm a person that will ghost a person the same way that you got ghosted, right? I dealt with somebody for years on end, and I ghosted this joker at the drop of a dime, all because I didn't like something that he did, right? I played along with it, so it sounds like to me, and I could be wrong, I think that he was not feeling you going out of town, and you went and he played along with it, and then he ghosted you. That's if you said everything was good until you got ready to go out of town, he was not feeling that you was going out of town with your girls or wherever you was going, and he ghosted you.
Andy, what did you say? What could have happened in between the time he was supposed to pick me up for the airport?
He met someone else.
I was just saying, I don't know what happened in 3.5 hours. It was completely, ghosted, but we were still Facebook friends. And they posted a picture the next day saying it was a great day outside.
I just told you, he did not like the fact that you went out of town with your girls. I'm telling you. And if the men on the call be honest, they'll tell you the same thing. I'm telling you.
No, I don't know anybody who would get
Hey,
mad.
T-Necol, if you are not with dating and how rambunctious you are, go with your girls, boo. Here's $1,000. Buy the ticket. No, I like my space. I like my space. So, Andy, if you were going out of town and I dropped you off, good. Have a great time. I'll see you when you get back. Have a great time.
That's the normal life, but we got toxic jokers out here. So I'm just telling you, we got toxic jokers.
Listen,
And I'm not saying that it's you, it's me. You know what? I'm giving it to you from all aspects. Toxic people, non-toxic people. You got toxic people that are like that. I'm pretty sure that he ghosted her or what have you. Andy, can you say that you have not seen that one red flag prior to that you just ignored?
No, I think that there probably was something that was, definitely there. Listen, we were joking. Melissa and I were joking about this. And we were saying maybe he couldn't afford it. I don't even know.
But what do y'all feel? What do the rest of y'all feel about ghosting?
I mean, I hate to say it. T-Necol's a nice person. I think she's great, but she's gonna yell. And I'll be honest with you, I would not be able to hang out for that. So I mean, ghosting sometimes is necessary.
She doesn't yell.
I'm sorry,
She's just loud on the call. She doesn't yell. She's actually very nice.
I just talk
Prejudice. You're prejudiced, Doc. You're prejudiced.
I am from the South, born and raised, and I've been shy most of my life. So let me just say this while we come to a conclusion. Can't nobody chase me off. I just want people to understand that I have always talking loud, like I just have. I don't have a hearing problem. I don't have any of that. I've just always been a loud person.
Nobody said you had a hearing
problem. That's
bad. So apparently, we have different views about ghosting, but in essence, ghosting is not appropriate. But this has been a really great episode. I thank all of you for attending the episode and chiming in. We had my girls on here today, putting it to the men. We had them quiet today. Doc was especially quiet, but we look forward to seeing you again. And I see you because I am you.
You have just listened to the Girl Talk podcast with your host, Melissa Ann. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play. Until next time, remember, I see you because I am you.